Hey everybody, Sister Fantastic here, and today's video is going to be my foundation routine, a current foundation routine. So I've already cleansed my face, did a little mask in the previous video, and put on some serum and some moisturizer, and then I applied this Watermelon Burst Hydrating Primer by Ciate London. And I don't know if y'all can see this or not, but there's like these little blue particles that are in there. That's the Watermelon Burst. So anyway, it's like a gel. It's really hydrating and I love it. So anyway, my skin is really good and tacky, so I'm just going to go right in with foundation. And today I'm using the BH Cosmetics liquid foundation and the shade 205, which is Fair Golden. And I'm going to put a couple of pumps on the back of my hand. And this is pretty full coverage, so I'm just going to warm it up here on the back of my hand. And I'm just going to apply it with my finger. And then I've got my Real Techniques beauty sponge. And I'm just going to blend it in with my sponge. Take what's left over on the back of my hand and put it on my chin. I like this foundation. When I bought it last year, I didn't think too much about it because it was such a great value. And I just thought, well, I'll try it, and we'll see how it works out. But I keep reaching for it over and over and over again. So this summer I've used it quite a bit, actually. And it does make my skin look golden. It picks up on those golden undertones that I have in my skin. But it's still kind of fair. And seeing as how I didn't get a suntan this year, I'm like super fair. And then if you feel like you need more, you can always go in with more. But I think that's plenty. It's not a little bit goes a long way, so it's full coverage that way. But as far as like covering up freckles and blemishes and those kind of things, it's not really full coverage that way. It's like a medium coverage foundation, but you could build it up. Anyway, this is good for today for me. So then I want to go in with some concealer, and today I'm going to be using the CoverGirl Fair concealer. Just called the color Fair. And I'm going to work on these circles. I didn't sleep good last night. So I need all the help I can get. So I just want to get around the nose and these smile lines pretty good. Okay. And we're going to blend that out. Highlight the face. I like using the sponge because it gives that airbrushed effect to your skin, and it helps pounce the foundation actually into the skin, and that way the foundation's not sitting on top of the skin. And then I just take whatever's left over on the sponge and just put it on top of the eyelid. Just have a little bit of light concealer coverage there, and that can act as a primer for eyeshadow later. Okay, now I could stop there, but as you can see, I have like some bags underneath my eyes, and I need more help than just that one concealer. So I'm going to put on another concealer, and this time I'm going in with the e.l.f. And this is in the color Medium Peach. And I'm just going to work right on the bags themselves. And this has got kind of a yellowish cast to it, so it kind of cancels out that purplish look. So I've discovered that if I use 2 concealers instead of 1, that I can get the additional coverage that I need. And I just do a thin layer of each one, and that way it builds, but it's not cakey looking once it dries down. So can I get the inside of the corner of my eye, because that's kind of dark too. And with whatever's left over on the sponge, I just kind of go over the spots where I already put concealer down. And especially around the nose, because this is where my foundation breaks apart the quickest. Okay, so that's good. So what I want to do now is I want to set all this. And I've got this setting powder by Kiss Professional. It's a invisible or translucent setting powder, and it's loose, but it has like this filtering system, and so I just tap some in the cap and use a big fluffy brush. And I'm going to use this one from Aesthetica. It's the P12. Love, love, love this brush for setting powder. So I'm just going to go right in those places where the concealer is the thickest and give it a good douse. And I'm not really baking, but I am going to give it plenty of powder to in those particular areas, especially to keep that from creasing and to keep the foundation from breaking apart. Okay, and now I can just set rest of the face. With just a light dusting. And I just really like having this good base down first before I go in with any eyebrow pencil or any, any other eye products. I'm not comfortable with doing my eyes first, unless there's a tremendous amount of fallout in the palette. But anyway, if you do want to put an extra layer of powder underneath your eyes, and for a palette that has fallout, you can catch most of the fallout with the powder. Just let it sit there until you finished with the eyeshadow, and then you can just brush it away. So anyway, whatever's left in the cap after tapping it back into the container, like what's around the sides, I just like to clean that up a little bit before I put the lid back on it. And then just give my face a final dusting. And this is for a really beautiful finish that's going to last all day. Okay. Okay, now I want to do eyebrow pencil. And the product, let's see. Let me go in with this one from the Brow Gal. This is from Tanya Crooks, the Brow Gal. I love this one so much. It's got a built-in sharpener, and I've got it really nice and sharp right now. So I'm just going to do my brows real quick. And I just like to do light little strokes at first to kind of get the shape down. And if whatever needs to be filled in, get that taken care of. And then any thickness that I want to add, I go in mostly on the underside of this brow here, because that's where it's the most sparse. And I can just get the shape down really good going underneath. And then draw in some brows right here on the end. And then just finish. Filling them in from the front. And I discovered that if I do like a squared off look right there, it kind of gives me an angry look, so I decided to start rounding it off, and I like that better. Okay, and then with the other end, there's a little brush, and I can just distribute the product. And that looks pretty good. Alright, now I'm going to do the other eyebrow. And I'm going to try to get it to match. Well, I would help y'all to see me. Well, y'all, I've got company. I'll be back.